In recent news, Amazon's decision to withdraw from their second headquarters building in Queens has raised concerns for both residents and politicians. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's School Diversity Advisory Group, made of mainly parents, academics, and activists, released their report last week, but you got to ask the question, what is in it? And tonight, 7 candidates in the race for New York City Public Advocate will be in the second and final official televised New York City Public Advocate debate. We're discussing this and more with Michael Benjamin, Associate Editorial Page Editor of the New York Post. And Mike, good to have you.
Good to be on, John. Good morning.
Hey, glad to have you. And talking a little bit about this Amazon, as we talk about Amazon, obviously a lot of people were excited to some degree that Amazon decided they were coming in. The move to actually just scrap the project altogether has been met with controversy. Let me ask you, first of all, where do you stand on both sides of the aisle?
All right. The Post stood on the position that the Amazon deal was too generous, and it was done in secret and not transparent. And Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio didn't do a good job of selling it to the public. Although we opposed the Amazon deal for those grounds, we were disappointed that New Yorkers did lose the opportunity for the creation of 25,000 jobs and an upgrading to that area of Long Island City.
Yeah, when we talk about 25,000 jobs, a lot of people say, "Oh my gosh, that's a huge number." But on the backside, numbers about taxes and the tax benefits and what it would cost New Yorkers on the backside, and many people felt like it far outweighed the fact that you had 25,000 jobs coming. The bigger question becomes, now with Amazon gone, does this make it hard for New York to attract more large manufacturers?
No, not at all. And part of the reason we believe that the Amazon deal was overly generous is that New York City is its own attraction. You want to be here. There's Broadway. You know, there's a diversity. There's the cultural. New York is the cultural center of America, if not the world. That's what people look for when they want to move somewhere. And we believe that tech companies and others want to be in New York because that's where the action is. It's the center of the media universe. It's everything people want. You know, and in some areas we also have some very good schools. It's a place young people want to be. So we don't see New York being hurt. In fact, Google has said it's going to have another 10 to 15,000 jobs in New York without asking for any additional, any new or any state or city subsidies to locate and expand their business here in New York. So when you're looking at Amazon, a $1 trillion company, why do they need a few $1 billion shaved off their tax bill? They didn't. And as we've learned, as it feared some New Yorkers, is that last year, 2017, they didn't pay any federal taxes. That seems absurd to many people.
Yeah, I know a lot of people will still be talking about this for some time to come. Of course, the Amazon deal now off the table, and New Yorkers are really sharing their opinion. Talk about.
But the important thing is they're also expanding their other presence. Their factory, their warehouse presence, other things they'll probably be doing. We're just not going to get the second half of their so-called headquarters.
Yeah. Let me move on and talk a little bit about this race that's coming up, the debate for public advocate, second and final debate. Give us your take on that, and who's showing, who do you think is really standing out right now?
Well, I think, it's hard to tell who's standing out. It's not a high-profile race. Those with money have commercials on TV. Jumaane Williams, Michael Blake have had TV commercials. Dawn Smalls has had TV commercials, and she's had a presence. Each of them had a presence on social media, whether it's Facebook, it's Twitter. They've got their ads out there in social media. But it's still going to come down to who can bring people out to the polls next Tuesday. And we don't even know what kind of weather it is. I think the top 3 contenders would be Michael Blake. He has the most money, and he has a lot of endorsement. Melissa Mark-Viverito being the only Puerto Rican woman in the race. She has that going for her, as having been council speaker and having had a high profile and known to voters. And then Jumaane Williams, who recently ran for lieutenant governor and has had a high profile for a long time as a member of the city council from Brooklyn. I think those 3 are the ones that have to be beaten, although I'm told that Dawn Smalls has been a major surprise in the amount of money she's been able to raise and what she's been able to do in her positions on issues. And she's the only black woman in the race, actively in the race and on the ballot. So I think it's possible those 4 Dawn Smalls could be the surprise of the 4. And I think it's Jumaane Williams' race to lose.
All righty, Mike. Well, we got to leave it there. That's why we bring Michael Benjamin on to give us the latest what's happening in the world of local politics. And Mike, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
All right, Michael Benjamin with us. Michael Blake is, of course, in the race for New York Public Advocate. Taking a quick break. We've got more open. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few.